We live in a world of image supremacy. Over 200 nations are currently engaged in the struggle of image superiority on the global stage. Some are winning and some are losing. In that world of supreme power brokers, there are two types of games that are being played. The first is the organized agenda for image supremacy, and the second is the loose-ended agenda for image mediocrity. The power broker teams in pursuit of image supremacy agenda continually enjoy the benefits and outcome of the games, while the image mediocrity power broker teams remain oblivious to the image supremacy and rules of the game. Image supremacy, written for heads of states, leaders of organizations, entrepreneurs, movers and shakers of special agendas, and all those in search of prosperity and global spotlight. 1 volume, 4 books, 23 chapters, 900 pages, 250,000 words. Image supremacy is for very special people with unique ideas and special agendas, people with tight timelines, and very specific national and global targets.
Image supremacy is all about creating extreme value and simultaneously generating extreme image. This rare combination of extreme forces creates respect, wealth, and prosperity for the players.
Book 1. The New Stage. Chapter 1. The Supremacy-Centric World. When the global spotlight decides to shine on any agenda of power, it is always intensely bright, causing third-degree burns. It requires special skills, as focal adjustments must occur. How can you harness the power of image supremacy? How was image supremacy created by the 6 major societies during our last century?
How to prepare for the next mega opportunities. How to achieve national and global spotlight. Universal Citizen, a manifesto. Circumnavigate the earth at a slow pace, but at least once. Explore closely a dozen religions, 100 languages, 100 foreign songs, 100 national anthems, 100 foreign films, and enjoy 100 cuisines. Acquire 100 odd skills. Influence and introduce advanced education to 1,000 people or more. Write a book on any topic and spread its knowledge. Embrace and expand on universal ideas and issues. Sacrifice traditional ideologies. Support one universe and one mankind.
Chapter 2. New Image Nationalism. If there are no loud explosions in your capital city, it doesn't mean that your country is not at war. This is a silent war played out in the open. Every geographical corner is engaged in tough economic conflicts, wars of commerce, wars of trade, and wars of image supremacy. Are your leadership teams losing the war of image supremacy without even realizing it? Why is image nationalism necessary? How far can you lead under nationalistic agenda? Chapter 3. The New Animal Kingdom. The mysteries of human conflict will not be found in the last words of a dying soldier on the battlefield. Instead, they will be discovered through the close observations of their primal behavior.
On this planet, the compulsive passion to create empires obsessed with power and domination has led to the current disorder and chaos. In reality, all this behavior is instinctively animalistic. Brazil, Russia, India, and China. The alligators. These BRIC nations will test out the New Age revolution and fully benefit from this global shift. They are the alligator countries, consuming resources and developing powerful jaws to devour anything that comes their way. The alligator nations have been waiting in the hot swamps for a long time. They held their breath and let the crows pick on them. They have waited long enough, and now they are ready. The zebras. Zebra nations are neither black nor white, neither a horse nor donkey, neither fully controlled nor fully liberated. They are caught in some strange gear of the socio-economic, cultural, and religious time machines, as they are neither winners nor losers. What are the good animalistic behaviors among nations? How to apply universal understanding for global success?
Chapter 4. The Supremacy of Knowledge. What we see with our eyes does not last forever. What we see through our mind does live in human consciousness forever. The greatest monuments of history and their crumbling remains is evidence of their impermanence. It is only the knowledge of thought, the acquired wisdom, the lingering perceptions, and their deeper understandings that are passed on to the next generations in a perpetuity that becomes part of the permanent human consciousness.
During the last 100 years, most great business ideas came from people who had no previous business experience or any formal business education. Let the brightest and best arguments be proven in the middle of the arena of image-centric life. The pursuit of image supremacy is not an underground secret society operation. It is all about openly nurturing bold and beautiful ideas for the benefit of trade and humanity. To progress without sharing some of that exclusive knowledge is an even more difficult task. Success is like an open race, and winning in that open exchange of ideas is what this is all about. The application of knowledge. Why is there so much disconnect within organization? Most of the time, 1% of the entire organization hardly spends 1% of its time discussing their core vision. 99% of the global workforce has little or no idea what is going on inside or outside of their own organization. 80% of organizations cannot deliver the promise as outlined in their own campaign. 75% of organizations have seriously conflicting ideas about their original strategy. 70% of corporate expenditures do not match either with the strategy or the results. How to nurture supreme knowledge? How to manage grand ideas?
Book 2. The New Players. Chapter 5. The Supremacy of Entrepreneurialism. No nation can claim exclusivity for being too entrepreneurial, but many can surely claim originality in creating the best fertile grounds. The future progress of nations will curve toward those with advanced levels of large-scale national programs that directly support, nurture, and aggressively ensure entrepreneurial supremacy.
Why will true entrepreneurialism save the country? Are you that real entrepreneur?
Chapter 6. The Supremacy of Public Relations. Playing with the media is an art, whereas toying with the media is extremely risky.
Image supremacy programs need supreme public relations and global media coordination. However, it is important to note that the web of the powerful PR and media concentration is always spinning its own agenda on a worldwide basis, while maintaining its own very silent and deep nationalistic goals. Why is the sword of public relations double-edged? Are you prepared for a sword fight?
Chapter 7. The New Landscapes. Between every sunrise and sunset, there are endless opportunities and countless doors to be opened. There are hundreds of new technological advanced and culturally accepted brand new concepts steaming out at a fascinating speed from all over the world.
What's next after the fiscal cliff and debt valleys? How to play with new toys and new sandboxes.
Chapter 8. The Supremacy Masters. The new masters are not the ones who can only see, but have the ability to show. Not the ones who can only hear, but can also sing. not the ones who can only read, but those who can write, and not just those who follow, but those who know how to lead. Where are the new masters of the image supremacy games?
The Supremacy Masters observe in minute detail and are sensitive to human behavior and psychology. They may have traveled far, but they can see even further. They may not have tasted everything, but they already know the flavor. They may not be at the mountaintop, but they know about the hills and valleys beyond. They can understand success and failure, and they can smell danger. They are deeply concerned about improving things. They have a diverse and open mind. They watch, observe, and wait. How to become an image supremacy master? How to define the next leadership roles?
Chapter 9. The Supremacy Teams. If there is a throne in the organization, then it certainly belongs to the person with the best original ideas, and not the one with the longest title. If there is a team fit enough for a real showdown, let it be made up of the finest gladiators. Declare your games open.
Honest mirror. A mirror always provides the most honest answers among all of life's complicated and easily available distractions. A simple stare points to a calm, composed, healthy, and innovative mindset, all within the twinkle of an eye. Otherwise, only tired eyes with dark circles underneath are left directly reflecting the stress, anxiety, discomfort, and burden of misalignment. A mirror cannot contradict the reflection if one is not truly honest. It cannot disguise one who is emotionally broken, or, then again, as solid as a rock. At times, they can tell one the future, as they read the distance traveled so clearly written in the wrinkles and lines. A mirror will proclaim the irreplaceable experiences and journeys of time, directed towards one's passions, desires, and goal. Mirrors can be trained to become your friends and forecasters, and if you are honest with them, they will be honest with you. You may be overly worried about your smaller circle or fully at ease with the public at large. No matter what, it is still the role of the mirror to show you what others are seeing in you to some degree. A face can be an open book, and the sooner you understand to learn to read the visual clues, the more interested you become in seeking out honesty and truth, all of course resulting in a better you. Just find an honest mirror. The vision. In most cases, vision is where all the deeply hidden problems are. It is often assumed to be very clear and moving forward, like an unstoppable driving force, in an attempt to create something very big, real, and fast. But somehow, this is not just good enough, whether it is to take top quality products or to become very rich, famous, and conquer the world. The supreme and ultimate bearers of this so-called vision often don't have a clear vision at all, but rather an illusion. Why do special teams have very special needs? How can you make vision crystallized and touchable?
Chapter 10. The Supremacy Structure. The sensation of utopia, the feeling of paradise, the loosely knitted dreams and fears of awakening, the glass ceilings, the tall cathedrals in those imaginary worlds where most executives dream, but some actually create some amazing structures and turn ideas into reality.
How to create real living organizations out of your dreams. How do new global tools offer unlimited global growth?
Chapter 11. The Supremacy Planning. The realization of success does not lie in pure hard work, but rather the hard work of pure planning. So, where are you headed in your planning?
Aggressive mode. Are you ready to an open declaration of war and a highly acute metamorphosis to transform the current business? Pragmatic mode. Are you conducting a line-by-line audit and applying the rules and the dimensions of image supremacy? Expansion mode. Are you launching your enterprises in new marketplaces and recognizing segmented potential revenue from 1 billion plus potential customers? Are you ready for all of the above? Why burn the case studies? Case study dependent organizations are always looking for a cookie cutter approach, and usually they often fail miserably. The case study concept is seriously flawed and religiously practiced by emerging countries. If performance were as simple as learning from a case study, then why aren't millions of corporations around the globe still not performing like winners? Assuming the case study knowledge automatically creates a new identical leader or brings about a sudden cultural change is simply wrong. How does the right planning bring the future closer? How can you become that supreme planner?
Chapter 12. The Supremacy Testing. If your great brand identity is fun, play it. If it is beautiful, showcase it. If it is really 100% your own, then prove it. 99% of organizations cannot prove it. They simply wonder why 90% of their marketing budget is being wasted.
All those businesses that are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars daily must go through the painful and tedious process of promoting and creating visibility for their losing name brands, and wonder why 90% of their marketing budget is being wasted. How many letters of your brand name do you really own? Where are the secret powers of marketing hidden?
Chapter 13. Cost elimination up to 95%. Basically, there should be no such thing as costs, as all expenses should be treated as investments toward building something of great value. The real challenge is if the value can be easily recognizable by the end user. Otherwise, most costs will simply end up in the loss column.
The age of convergence has arrived, where creating alliances to achieve unique combinations is where the new battles will be defined. Operational savings. Every night, whether under a full or new moon, when all activities cease, 3/4 of the world are still bustling away, buying, selling, producing, and consuming. Depending on the global nature of the product or service, by creating a round-the-clock 365-day cyber-driven marketing and customer service operation, costs can be cut by up to 30%. How to turn costs into investments. How to create unlimited funding and cash flow.
Book 3. The New Backdrops. Chapter 14. The New Name Economy. The new name economy is being practiced by declaring image wars on neighboring countries or across the continents in using their superior branding and name identity strongholds to dominate export trade.
Global name games. Behind every transaction of any company lies a very powerful fact. The outside world responds to their name identity before they part with their money. Customers are influenced by the personality of the name identity, what it says, connotes, projects, and what kind of secret or hidden messages it is emulating in its alpha structure. 2 facts. First, every business leadership is already convinced that it has the best name in the market. Second, business leaders are not aware of the name problems, despite the fact that most business names in use are dysfunctional, highly duplicated, and no longer fit with the current global e-commerce-driven mobile societies. Based on the global business registries in some 250 countries, it is estimated that altogether there are about 500 million names registered. They represent large public corporations, small limited entities, sole proprietorships, products, services, name identities, associations, government agencies, domain names, trade names, local and foreign trademarks, web names, blog identities, and other business-related word marks. Are you ready for guerrilla warfare in the jungles of naming? How to create market domination via name identity.
Chapter 15. The Branding Entrapments. Loose words such as economy carry different meanings, speaking differently to various people. To some, the economy may refer to money, while to others, it means jobs. Whereas for some, it is the catalyst responsible for global climate change. The meaning of the word branding is even more confusing.
How to discover mega savings in current budgets. What will be the new look of branding in the future?
Chapter 16. The Naming Entrapments. Global Naming Complexities. As the world becomes smaller and companies go global, business names are hit the hardest. Each one of us is now spinning in a mix of international alphabet soup made up of strange names and terminologies. Is your corporate image sending messages of love, hate, profanity, or sobriety? How do you know for sure?
How to become global naming expert. How to shake down your markets and competitors.
Chapter 17. The Virtual Entrapments. Extreme miniaturization and digitization of all hard and soft assets has created a brand new culture, work model, and new style of leadership. When portable devices became as powerful as the entire headquarters, a new landscape emerges. Now it is digitize or die.
How to monetize with free e-commerce tools. How to take charge in digital society.
Chapter 18. The 5-Star Naming Standard. Image supremacy requires the 5-star naming standard. Will your name identity pass the acid test? Do you have the courage to face the consequences?
Why is name identity ownership the ultimate game? How do you create global icons?
Chapter 19. The New Global Image Shifts. The world economies are at the fiscal cliff and jumping into debt valleys. At the same time, a new world is emerging seeking new alliances, currency, and financial standards, and a call for new global agendas.
We have entered the age where developing economies are going to lead the recovery, possibly resulting in an all-out Cold War among many nations, or an extreme nationalism. New terms of engagement will be defined. A major global image shift is underway.
The goals of image supremacy. Image supremacy is a methodology and style to achieve a well-respected image among the global populace. It is a powerful force which conquers a common mindshare, which creates trade and brings prosperity to its holders. This book has defined and refined these concepts with implementation guidelines. The real power is the truth of your original ideas. The image you create is the expansion of that truth. Image supremacy is the acknowledgement of that truth by the global populace. Image supremacy is a vision, and its claim to the global mindshare is its ultimate reward.
Are you standing in the right place with the right access? How can you identify and manage global opportunities?
Chapter 20. The ICANN.name Supremacy. The Great Domain Name Revolution. Facts. There are 2 billion online users. There are 250 million domain names. Both numbers will double in the coming years. Big Bang commerce will continuously expand. Market domination via name identity is a new frontier.
ICANN's GTLD platforms offer amazing potential. we live in a one internet, one world domain and aim for one name, one owner. When both features are combined, name domination is achieved. How will this new literacy of dot names create the next generation of super brands? How will you cope with these mega marketing movements? How lack of new knowledge will wipe out mega brands? How to create billion-dollar domain name babies?
Chapter 21. The New Age Digital Supremacy. The digitization of society is creating new divides. It is combining the office processing of an entire skyscraper miniaturized to fit into one small cubicle at nano costs. It is eliminating bureaucratic overhead costs and changing traditional thinking, thus creating a quantum leap for society.
What are the new rules of miniaturization? How to minimize for maximum impact?
Book 4, The New Acts. Chapter 22, The Laws of Image Supremacy. Laws create balance, and the great ones liberate the truth. To play a game of chess, it is essential to know each and every legal move of each piece, and only with such skills one can enjoy the game. Now imagine someone randomly moving pieces without knowing the moves. Image supremacy is a serious game dependent on its own rules and laws.
What are the 10 steps to global iconization? The greatest marketing and branding books from the last century have served society extremely well. However, as we enter into the second decade of this millennium, it is important that you make sure that your knowledge tree can provide you the right fruits. If it can't, then cut it down. Why can there be no image supremacy without rules? How to discover new powers and comfort zones.
Chapter 23, The Supremacy Protocols and 100 Tasks. What are the 100 specific procedures? What really creates image supremacy? What are the systematic three-dimensional modeling approaches? Why, vision is the ultimate weapon in achieving image supremacy. Why crystallization of that vision is ever so critical. What really makes the image supremacy masters.
How to apply image supremacy to build real, solid businesses. How to create grand-scale prosperity. Nassim Javed, a corporate philosopher, world-class speaker, author of several books, syndicated columnist, founder of ABC Name Bank, and now charging ahead with a worldwide educational movement of image supremacy to create champions of businesses with extreme value creation and extreme image generation.